All right, we're back live.
Let's try that again.
Morning,
Try to
Don't
everybody.
get.
let Caribou have control anymore, dude. We can't let that kid have control.
It was not me this time, Adam. It was not me this time. It was.
Yeah.
We said
I'm.
hi
I'm not.
and broke the show.
I'm not gonna say it was one of the fucking skinny frames, but it might have been one of the skinny frames. Just
Oh,
saying. Just saying.
see what I
They come
say?
by, they fucking ruin everything.
I'm not a skinny frame anymore, motherfucker.
God, now I got to get all the videos back. Well,
That
Caribou,
just
you have
narrowed it
yourself a
down.
wonderful day, brother. Right? I'm not going to say it's the guy who's not here anymore, but it might be the guy who's not here anymore.
I don't mind taking one for the team, but I wasn't jumping in front of
Well, hey, usually, I mean, look, it already had Adam betting $5. It was me, so I mean, usually I just
that.
take that one. So let's get this fucking going again. Miss G Bay, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Me and the dog are just hanging out.
All right. Fuck Prophet, tell us a little bit about what's been going on. Fuck, let's get G Bay first. G Bay, what's
There you
up,
go.
bud?
Oh, I got the other part of the family. I'm up here in northern Ontario at a campsite. We were supposed to go do some canoe camping, but way too many hippies in that parking lot, man. I just didn't even stop the truck. Just turned around, left, came to a provincial park, pulled up site. So I wasn't about to
Yeah.
fight off the granola crunchers for a fucking canoe spot. So we skipped that. But daughter's still sleeping, so I figured I wasn't even going to jump on, but daughter's
Wow.
still sleeping. I had my coffee going, and I got this really nice lemon haze from down the road from the Medi Shack. So I'm going to let you guys all introduce, but come back to me later, Fluff, because I got a funny story to tell the crew. How I
Yeah,
ended up with this weed.
will do. Sniff, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Having fun jumping around from StreamYard to StreamYard,
What?
YouTube to YouTube, and trying to keep up with everybody. And that's great. Sunday morning, wake and bake. Hope everybody in chat's fine. Hope everybody's in live chat. I was in top chat for a second, and that was a terrible experience. So I
You
popped
fucking
over to live chat. What a great experience over there in live chat, guys.
what?
What are you smoking on, Fluff?
Nice plug.
You know, this morning I am hitting on some fucking cherry banger. Got that out. We got it trimmed up last night, and that is some wonderful, wonderful stuff.
That's
Real
cool.
quick, what? Yeah, man. See, while you were talking about it though, we haven't done this one in a while. Get your asses in live chat. That's where it's at.
Right.
Get live chat. So, all right, we got that. What, Miss G Bay? What you smoking on this morning?
I just I just pulled up some Black Lime Lizard.
Very nice, very nice.
Here,
While
here.
we're talking to you, grab the golden goat seedling and just get it up ready because Prophet wants to see the leaves because his is doing the same kind of thing. Just before we forget.
As Fluff mentioned, it doesn't really like to be watered. Mine is outdoor, and it's been raining all fucking like for a week and a half. So that could be my problem.
It's just what I noticed with mine. I think while I was growing mine through I believe it was Cannabis back there when I was kind of showing those pictures out. I think I well documented how just annoying that plant. It looked like that plant just hated water. It's like how? It's like you need this to survive, but every time I put it on you, it makes you mad, no matter how dry it was. So
You
Yeah, like describe what the leaf looks like to you, hon. I think like it's like got rusty spots, or something. It's like I haven't really looked at it in a day or two, but
And I mean that really could make me wonder, you know, those small seedlings, rusty spots like that, a little bit of too much water. Yeah, that's exactly what mine looked like when it got all pissed off.
It seems to be coming around, but it's just a little wavy and rusty.
Yeah, it's just that to me, I mean, you're definitely looking at like a signs of an overwater, right? It kind of locks out your calcium, your magnesium, gets a little pissed off. You know, your nutrients don't flow the right way.
Give it a couple
So
dry
you
back.
start getting those spots, you get the wrinkles. So yeah, now in my experience, that plant loved to be fucking dry. So
I will try and go
Yeah.
that route with it. The rest of them too, I noticed I did get a little wet because I was starting for a dry back sort of thing, and then I was like, I keep forgetting. I don't want to forget. I'm at a point now where I can water, and I'm standing here with water, so I'm going to water. And I did, but then I noticed my Afghani had curled the leaves down the next morning. I came down, they were kind of clawed down, and I was like, oh, yeah, that was and I'm on a coal. I'm directly on the floor right now too, so kind of pulling a 2 cents there. I got to get those up off the floor, get that dealt with. Okay, yeah, yours is not as bad, but
No, but it's definitely got this weird, like you can see the
yours looks
splotchiness.
texture. in the
yours
leaf.
looks like a magnesium deficiency, Profit.
Does it?
A little bit, yeah. You're missing some of that greening, and that magnesium would help fill in some of those spots. That's what I see anyway. I mean, it's a little hard
I
to
wonder
tell
why.
on the fucking camera, but
I wonder why she's being a whore and my other ones are doing fine.
she just wants a little fucking. Give her a little shot of Epsom salt. Mix a little
All
Epsom
right,
salt in there and fucking threw it on her and see how she likes it. Might help turn her
I'll give it a
around.
try.
Wants the extra
But
attention.
either from Hooli, we got the 2 sour aliens over here. Well, 3. This one's doing whatever the fuck it wants, guys. I don't not 100% sure what it's doing other than flowering, but not at a very fast rate from what I can tell.
What one's that?
Huh?
What strain is that one? The one that's flowering?
Sour alien, if I remember correctly. But what's funny is that's a sour alien. It was on my porch and it started flowering way before any of the other ones. And that's a sour alien. And that's a sour alien. And I believe these 3 are clones. That was from a seed that I got from Hooli that he grew. So, yeah, I don't know. I was trying to figure out maybe it was because of my porch light because it is kind of an LED style light bulb. But I'm like, nah, I don't think it would have done that. It would have hermied if anything.
Yeah. It's weird. Sometimes I've had plants go outdoor that didn't like say for every other growing. Every time I put it's going to be the same cut too, and they just something gets them and kicks them over to that one side, and then they just don't fully come back. Like I had what was it? My granddaddy black.
Yeah.
Put it outside, and it started to flower in like May, and I was like, oh man, this is gonna suck. This is gonna re-veg. No, but if you take that plant in any other circumstance, you can still control it with the light. Like you know what I mean? It's a photo period plant, but for some reason that summer it just took it and went with it, and it was like they don't grow the nicest buds because it's like half re-veggie, so it's like a lot of like stalk and calyx, but not a lot of proper bud like swelling. So you do get a lot. It's really good for washing because the trite coverage, like your what do you call it, like square inches of coverage,
surface
like
area.
surface area, is increased.
See, I've had that happen bringing plants from indoors outdoors. Like it would kind of just the change it from 18 hours to like 17 hours of light just kind of shocked it, I guess, and drove it into flower and then caused it to re-veg. This one was outside for a month, just like the other ones at the same exact time. The only difference was that one was in a 5-gallon bucket and the other ones are in the ground. And that one just decided to go into flower.
Okay.
It's I'm not saying this is the cause, but this is something I think we're going to start seeing in the next 20 years. People like me fucking around with ruderalis and autoflowers and shit like that. One little bit gets over here, that little bit gets spread over here, that little bit gets spread over here. You know, not intentionally, but all this underlying autoflower and stuff like that. I think it's going to start showing up in some
Well,
of the.
I think it shows up in things like that Granddaddy Black, where it flowered super early and didn't want to revert because one of the cut that I had of Daddy Ultra from Terp, it was Granddaddy Purple by MK Ultra Auto, right? And or no, MK Ultra Auto by the Granddaddy Purple Backcross, and it when that thing hit flower, when it you change the light cycle slightly on it, that fucker go into flower, and then it just never returned. It was midsummer, you know, and I put it back out there thinking, all right, no problem, re-veg. And it took all summer, all fall, and it just stayed in flower. It didn't want to come out. But those things, you know, where I've got my Bamalam in the room right now, waiting on a re-veg. And if that thing did not re-veg, I'd be fucking crushed. You know what I mean? I want that fucking plant back. And so, yeah, that really is a big issue with just kind of letting that shit fly around out there. If you know you have somebody, just letting it fly outside. Because depending on what they got, man, they could really be fucking your shit up. So,
And just keeping it like, if you're gonna do the breeding with autoflower and stuff, just keep it tight. Excuse me, sorry. Like, just keep it to yourself. Like, a lot of stuff I do when I'm trying to find these early flowering or develop an early flowering plant. Only my inner circle gets some of those seeds. Like, I don't just like willy nilly fucking hand out hundreds of weird fucking autoflower crosses because they do some weird shit, man. Like, some of them you sprout and it's just like, it's just fuck. You're like, whoa, yeah, nope, not that one. But some of them are good because, like, for instance, the one I got in the backyard right now. So far, so good, man. That thing is just a beast. And it didn't flower when I put it out. It stayed veg for half its life outdoors. It grew 3 or 4 feet as a vegging plant outdoors before it started to actually flower. So it wasn't the shock of me putting it outside that did it. It was the natural drop in sunlight outdoors, but it happened in July. So I've got some clones indoors that have actually rooted. Once I get them going, I'm going to put them through a test and just weekly, I'm going to drop the light by a half hour, an hour weekly until pistils show up, right? So see where it's, what is it, critical date light or whatever, where it switches over. Because if I have one that's not really a 12-12 and I can consistently see it flower at a sooner time, that's what I'm after, man. Something that I can consistently test and say these seeds here will flower in July, not just a maybe or a if, or I want to make it that way.
dude, I was absolutely stoked about that when I seen mine doing the same thing, right? It was an early flip. As soon as you kind of got into that flower range, that 14 to 14 and a half hours, you know, transition time, right at that, it's like super long time, I could see mine starting to stretch. And I was like, you know, and she's well into flower. She's doing great now, nice and early, you know. I'm hoping she finishes early and it's not just a long running strain, but you know, that's what we're trying to figure out, you know. So, you know, and we have got to talk to everybody so far except Mr. fucking High and Tight here, and I see you burning up that wood. So what's up, my man?
What's up, everybody? Cheers and good morning. Yeah, I'm burning up some fancy wood, so smell good. So,
Dude, it really does have a nice vibe when you got that fucking wood, like, or that smoke in the room, isn't it?
I have it, so I'm gonna use it.
I like it, man. I do find it to have that kind of calming, de-stressing effect to it.
Yeah, I did have a second one that I burned down all the way, and it just conveniently fits inside my ashtray right here. I just stuff it in there, get it going. But currently puffing on. I just rolled up a grapple fritter. Figured we let everybody have a good old conversation, and then we'll go check out the flower room.
Hell yeah, Palo Santo. That's what that wood is. Palo Santo.
It's fancy wood with oils in it.
It's good shit, man. I'm burning the morning wood.
You know what's up.
Yeah, no, when you're mentioning it there, Fluff, it's like, yeah, I hope to God they just didn't start flowering early and just still finish at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, don't start early, but then just extend it on the back end again. Like,
Ooh,
Right.
hold on a second. I don't like that shit.
Ooh, we better get this. Hold on.
Day 29 of flower. We have on this row Altered Beast, Chaos Kush. No, the Chaos Kush Altered Beast line. And Banana Daddy right here, crossed with Chaos Kush. And the Earth boxes. And they're doing fucking nice. Luis. This one right here. Ubi pointed this one out a long time ago before it even started flowering. And it's just been stacking up nicely, dude. But it's been doing good. One thing I do want to point out real quick. This is a mystery plant. Putting it into flower to figure out what it is. But one thing that I did want to point out is if you guys remember correctly, I was talking about how I had a pre-flower and an early flower light spectrum, which included more blue in order to increase bud site growth, right? This one didn't get that. And now look at the spacing.
So did you end up getting more spacing through it?
Yeah, it's stretched out more. There should be another bud node, like another bud site right here.
And this was with the red. You used the heavy red in the stretch, or I'm sorry, you
Yeah.
used blue, right? Or you used the heavy red.
So what happened was I put this plant in after I used a pre-flower recipe that increased the blue to encourage more bud site growth.
Right.
So this plant right here specifically, and these over here are going to get more red from the beginning of flower than the rest. So these are going to stretch. Basically, what's going to happen is these are going to stretch out a lot more than the others did with less bud sites, in my theory. That's my theory.
I know, like my veg lights, I run quite a bit of blue, and I can even keep them pretty, a fair distance away from the canopy and still see a fairly tight internodal growth. But by the time I get kind of like big plants, they're going under that general spectrum of the big lights. So, they don't get that. But I feel like you really do see the use out of that blue early in that growth,
Here's a Black Widow right here, just stacked up nicely.
Yeah, man. Nice stacks on it.
Contract all around. Then this one was a mystery plant. It's now identified as the stuffed cherry gelato. So this one's just all the way down the lowers. So this one's doing good right here. This is the train wreck Arcata cut. This is a Banana Daddy Chaos Kush tester. I gotta come in here and train these more, pinch them so they don't stretch too much.
let me stop you right there. Do you find that doing the breaking of the cell walls and stuff mitigates some of the height?
Yes, so I do believe that it slows down the growth. I like to hit it right below the node because it's more structurally sound.
Yeah. I've done lots of this, but I've never timed it. Like, I've never done it because pre-stretch or anything. You got me thinking. That's why I just jumped right in there. I was like, oh, bing, fucking. If you do right before you flip, or I guess like flip 12-12 and then within the week,
Yeah, so
get
these
to
just
doing this, right? So
on the 22nd, these two. So I'm making sure I go in for the first couple of weeks and pinch them so that the rest of them can catch up. It's right underneath the node.
It was funny because I had bro science at its finest come at me with this whole pinching shit for years. A buddy of mine. I never respected him for it because he wasn't really a grower. He's honestly just a heavy drinker, and throws weed seeds out in the bush every once in a while. But he's like, no, you gotta grab them and fucking break them and all this. I'm like, I'm good with fucking breaking my plants, thanks. But then I watched other people that I valued their input a lot more, and they were doing the same thing. And then now you doing it too, and it's like, I've been doing it for a few years now, but does it ever? I think it was Ross to Jeff, one of the podcasters I listened to, anyways. It was explaining it, and basically, yeah, it just kind of takes that area, damages it, but then the plant repairs it, and kind of gives it allows it to actually get more. I guess the xylem and phloem are increased, so there's actually a little bit more flow to that area, but then it can't retract after that. So once it has repaired itself, it stays a few percentage above the rest of the plant, I guess, in intake, because it's had that repair done. And I may be talking out my ass, but
No,
I
dude.
believe where the injury has occurred, the flow is increased and it never comes back. So if you break underneath all the buds before they flower, you get an increased nutrient uptake to that area, or at least more attention paid by the plant to that area, right? So
it's kind of like THC, like white blood cells. You know, if you damage the plant, it kind of rushes that shit there to repair it. You know, and you are correct. It does increase the intake in that particular area.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I tested it really good on the Primal Punch this year outdoor. I was grabbing the stalks like. Oh, that fucking sounds bad. But I go back now and there's like a nice inch-long knuckle. You know what I mean? Just a big beefed-up chunk of that stalk, and the plant above that is.
I really find it to be a benefit is when you got the fucking hollow ones. And you can just fucking snap them, bend them over, and they grow that big-ass knuckle. And then above there, it doesn't really seem, the hollowness seems to, like, not be as bad afterwards. It's like it fills in a little bit of the plant, more starts going to it. So I know I like, when I have a hollow one, I like to snap as many of those, get them bent, or at least just kind of like poke them or squish on them, make them flat, but not bend them over. And then just kind of, they beef up after that. You get a little more ass to them, So I do like to do that. It's definitely a benefit that I've seen. But I like to play with the lights because, it was like Adam was saying, he's got an R spec and he veggies, and if you turn it down too low, they get leggy as fuck. I was playing with all my new lights in the new room and trying to see kind of like if I can get a bunch of like light savings, right? While I'm vegging in there, turning all those lights down to like 30%, but they're like fucking 5 foot away. Shit just doesn't happen, you got to run some power to get to. So I have some, and you can tell that there's just no blue there. Because when I would do that with my actual veg lights that are high on the blue, I can keep them 3-4 foot away. They're only 150 watts, but they still keep the plant squat, nice tight internodes. It's a nice, even, healthy growth. But then rocking, 1,300 watts 5 foot away. I still got to turn it all the way up to get that down to the thing, because now I've got fucking, plants that have stretched this far in between internodes. So yeah, that's where I think that the real benefit with the spectrum tuning and that shit comes into, because, without even having the amount of power, the blue still seems to get down there, keep a nice, compact plant, keeping them short. So without the obnoxious amount of power to get it down there and keep it short. At least that's what I've experienced. So
yeah, I just got plants on the floor right now with a grow light stuck to my fucking rafters there, but so they're gonna stretch on me probably. But I do have it, trying to keep it cranked up as possible. But it's hard when they're in the open room, man. Those fucking things are bright.
Why don't you get like a stand under the light?
What's that?
Like a stand or a table or shelf, put it underneath the light.
Well, I do. I do have one table we've stolen from Miss G-Bay's craft room. But I got a pile of strawberries on that right now, trying to get all the runners rooted. Yeah, so just kind of out of control. And I got a perfectly good 4x8 tent, fully rigged, sitting right beside the plants. Just I'm not putting anything in tents yet. They're all contaminated at the moment, right? Everything I'm doing indoor, outdoor fucking bullshit like I always do. So I can't flower anything or conceal anything. It's all got to
When
stay.
when it comes to this one, I think he's absolutely right. I think genetics play a giant part, but I also think when it comes down time to lights and what you're doing to your plants, the spectrum can do a lot for somebody who, if they're not, powering enough, they don't have enough light there to really maximize those plants and they're using those heavy reds, they're going to get stretchier plants with more internodes. But, if they had a little bit of a blue, they could shorten that up some. So genetic, absolutely. It's absolutely genetic, but it can be manipulated to a point, with your spectrum.
Spectrum and training. That's the only I believe so I keep saying this, once you get your environment dialed in, then you get your medium, your growing method set up, your nutrient line, everything you want to do, you get that dialed in. Now the next thing you go is training and then light, or mainly light. So anybody can train a plant differently per genetics, right? Phenotypes, some require different types of training. We all know this. But when it comes to the light, when you're able to manipulate the spectrum to it and not have to move plants a few feet away, just leave it in the same spot and just change the spectrum right underneath it. It's less of a hassle, less, I guess, root shock on the plant, or just stress on the plants in general. So, I mean, I know a lot of people, like, for example, 311 had just mentioned it too, that he grows plants underneath, what was that, 6500K?
Yeah, looking at like a metal halide spectrum.
Yeah, I think it's a fucking great idea. My mentor had, it took forever to convince him to get LEDs. He got 2 in his room full of HPSs, and he ran them underneath his bar style LEDs for the first 2 weeks, and then the rest of the time under HPSs, specifically to encourage, or not to encourage, to improve or increase blood cycle production. But yeah, fuck what I said. What you got there, Fluff?
Well, like you were talking about them stretchy bitches. Look at that fucking node stretching. So then you can see exactly what point in growth that I turn the light up, right? We got a little site here, little site here. We got all that stretch. And then this is where I turn the light up to 100%. And every one of them, you can see where it started hitting the proper par for.
It's not a bad way to shave the legs, really, without doing much.
Yeah, but I got to transplant them deep now. And I mean, a lot of that was going to get cut off anyway. So not the worst, but this soil has been pissing me off. For some reason, it just does not want to fucking, these plants are just pissed. Won't dry out, stayed wet, fucking fungus gnats like a motherfucker. Pissing me off. This stupid mix. That's why I hate buying soil and I just constantly reuse all my shit.
And I'm trying a new one now called WP420. Now, the only reason I bought it was because it was kind of gimmicky, sort of. It was sitting there right beside the Pro Mix. My only 2 options were my Pro Mix HP or this new WP420 stuff. Got me laughing because on the bag, it comes in like the bale, right? And it's got tomato plants and whatever, but right up in the other corner, it's got a cannabis plant. So these people are marketing to legal growers, and it's got a trademark. This is the kind of thing that kind of threw me off. A trademarked root maximizer or something like that, some sort of something in there, as well as some mild feed, a small dose of NPK. So I'm like, great for starting, because a lot of times when I use the Pro Mix, it's inert, right? So like, you've got to amend it before you do anything with it, right? But amending for seedlings and new growth and stuff sometimes can be a little bit of a bitch, because dry amendments don't break down fast enough. Anything that does break down fast enough or is bioavailable, that's you can burn real easy at that stage, right?
Yeah.
So we're trying it out. It's the same price as Pro Mix and everything. I don't know the company. I didn't do any research into actually who makes it. I just grabbed it and threw it on the cart and went home with it. But
Yeah.
we're gonna
So
see.
I see a comment in here. It's
Like
cheaper
creative
to
world.
change the genetic and phenotype of a plant, right? So basically, get some new seeds, plants, cuts, whatever. For people who don't have a generous community such as ours, that shit can get expensive. It can get pricey. And the difference between a scientist and a guinea pig is scientist is growing to experiment. I'm not the one being, tested on. So while I'm running these experiments myself, collecting the data and doing it myself, growing with science, I'm able to get the results myself with my eyes. White paper results. If that's what you're looking for, do it yourself. See it for yourself, because you're not going to be able to believe anybody else.
We all realize white paper is like theory, right? It's like the working of a theory. White paper is not like proven science. That is the theory of science. So it's still not like a proven thing when we talk about white paper. It's more factual science going into a theory than it is like, researched out. This is them working on it and giving you, so it is a good place to start, with white papers, but it's not the end all be all when we talk about it. And then I just wanted to touch on like one other one. It was Clay Pipe's comment, right? It's that we haven't done enough studying on the cannabis plant, but there has been. We still talk about how this plant isn't some mythical unicorn. It's still a fucking plant. We've been doing lighting science on general plants and how plants react for a long, 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 long time.
Yeah.
There's factual science there. Yeah, it doesn't have the word cannabis attached to it, but green plant that photosynthesizes does the same thing with this color spectrum. So that's where I take my kind of thoughts on it from. So
Yeah. So it really comes down to not a fact, but an opinion, we'll say. These lights that we've been growing with for years, you guys been growing for a lot longer than I have been staying the same. There is nothing different, just different designs, same light spectrum, all that shit, different design. Right? But when you look at the big picture of it, not just the spectrum itself, but the big picture, HPSs are fucking expensive on the light bill. Right?
it's inefficient.
More cost efficient. So in the long run, those are just two prime examples. But spectrum tuning in itself, as growers, we're constantly learning new things. All around. Every day. Boom, boom, boom. Constantly learning new things about these plants, about what we can do to improve these plants. Mammoth Lighting LED just came out with fucking their bar lights with green LED, like green diodes now. And for how many years have we been getting research thrown at us that it's there, but it's not that important of a spectrum or a light? But now we're hearing different information.
Right. As in, what could it possibly do, even though it's not a usable spectrum by the plant? They're saying it uses that spectrum in some fashion, but Yeah,
So
I've not researched into the green.
that's what I'm saying. Like, be the one to test it yourself. Put it in your garden. Do it. It's that simple. But
Right.
moving
Oh
on,
yeah,
I haven't seen one.
I'm a that's kind of the hard part though, right? Is I'm all about the fuck around and find out in the garden, right? Go in there, kick a plant, knock it over, break its neck, fucking tie it up in a knot, do all kinds of things, find out, right? And find
You
out with
just
your
told the
fucking
whole world
spectrum.
about that the other day.
Yeah, I did. But the hard part is spectrum tuning isn't something that's cheap for people to try out. So shit like that until these lighting manufacturers come off the fucking high horse, and I realize these things aren't exactly cheap to make. Right? There's R&D, there's all of that. But the proof is that they can be manufactured way cheaper than what they are, or at least sold at a better price. Um, regardless of that fact, that's the highest price point for you to fuck around and find out, and that's where most people aren't going to do it. You know what I mean? Because that's where you're going to find probably the biggest detriment in your garden too if you screw it up.
Mm. Hey man, all I'm gonna say is do it yourself, because one light's a difference. Price wise, they had a huge garage sale. I bought my second light for $600. Very much so within the price range of just about any other home grower. So, hey, to each their own. All right. Saffron?
It would be nice just to like I'm don't know how difficult it is once you understand like electronics and such, but to build a little control box. Some of these guys out there that know how to do this kind of thing, like I've seen people do it like say for instance, my dad's guitar pedal board. He's got all his pedals all together, and all the wires go out of the pedal into the inside of this box, so you can't see them all and everything, right? So everything works together as one. Kind of like the AC Infinity controller, sort of like that. Like I wish I knew how to mess with LEDs and stuff and build lights, because once you know how to do it, the components are cheap. It's the configuration that's expensive. It's the guy that was not telling you how to configure it. He's got the key, right? So I'd really like to study that a little more, maybe build a few lights, but I think the industry's gotten way far ahead. When LEDs first came out, I was really looking at it like, okay, this is easy. You just get, a panel and you put some lights on and you run the wires to blah, blah. But like, look what science is doing, and Fluff's new light and everything. It's like, how do you do that in your basement?
Well, fucking, I mean, right, and mine's just a drop in the bucket compared to what like fucking High and Tight and Dan's lights do. And to touch on that, I think it was maybe Smart Poker up there said, right, you want to focus on that full spectrum. Being a home grower, you're paying for electricity, and now here's the point I was trying to make, and that's exactly it. Is that when you have one of these fancy motherfuckers that's up there, and you can switch that spectrum and thing. I had to run almost 1,500 watts to make those seedlings stop stretching. I can do that same thing with 300 watts under a more blue spectrum. So being able to take that light, say if you were to take like let's even just say mine, if mine had a blue spectrum, and so instead of going from 730 watts to veg a fucking seedling at 5 foot away, because let's be honest, it's because of me, I'm too lazy to move a light up and down, right? That's what the fucking problem is. I realize this, but that's the way I like my room to run. So if I could spectrum tune, switch that shit to blue, I could drop my wattage, save that money, let those things veg up into it. And then, as I'm either tuning to go into the reds to transition or whatever, and then turning the power up, I've saved the 30% power, throughout the veg cycle by switching to that spectrum. So, you know what I mean? And turning it down rather than what I was doing as turning my lights up so I get the proper par at my plants. So That's my opinion on it. Why it's such a more of a benefit for a home grower to do shit like that. That's where your
Yeah.
savings are gonna come in.
I've just never been able to afford to even care about Spectrum. Like I care about it, but I just never been able to put my money towards just anything specific. Um, my lights, like honestly, I don't even know what my lights are or what they do. They're 480 watt do-it-yourself quantum boards with a single drive. Like they're Meanwell drivers, Samsung diodes. It's just a plate of aluminum with 4 little boards stuck to it, and the wiring all clipped together. Like the wiring's not even soldered or nothing. It's these little panels, I guess, or junctions, I guess you'd call them. So they have just little. You insert the wire and clip it down, kind of like on the back of a speaker, sort of. Super, super, super simple. I bought them for $250 Canadian a piece, used, like, I don't know, 2 years ago or something. Buddy said he had 4 or 5 runs on them, and they're generally like a, I don't know, $500 light, maybe $400 or $500 light. So I got 2 of them for 500, and fuck, I've been running them, and they do well. Like I'm sure I could do a lot better if I did a side by side, but hell, man, for
Yuma brought up a good question. How much of an improvement are we chasing after all the tech and tuning? One thing that I brought up, the example was a plant that had massive the spacing with only 2 notes. If there was that extra one in the middle and that one bud site on each branch produced a 2-gram nut, a 1 gram to 2 gram nut on each branch, in between all the spacing, that would be a noticeable difference in the yield itself. Right? Or am I wrong? Or is it because there's less bud sites? Would there be more food being pushed towards each individual bud sites? I don't know. Not white.
2-gram dried bud though. That's a bud though. Like that's a good one. But I'm not that good of a grower, so I'm.
And we have to remember, man, I'm playing with one free light that's expensive that has the minimalist amount of like kind of spectrum playing with, right? Like I can make my shit sit under a red light. That's it right now, right? And I have my controller doing a sunrise and sunset so that we have a gentle like rise and fall of the par. So it's you know I'm
Hold on.
still running, this light directly against these same cheap lights doing the same things. So this is, you know, I'm not all fucking sitting on a high fancy horse over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's fun seeing the difference between the two right now.
Yeah. So I think I showed that plan before Clay Pipes actually came into the chat, but I was explaining that when I put that plan in, it missed out on that pre-flower recipe and the first few weeks of the flower recipe that include more of the blue in the spectrum.
Did you say those were the same strain, same cut, same everything plant?
Triangle octane. I'm fairly certain that's triangle octane. That's the whole theory right now. It's mystery plant, but I'm gonna find out what it is, and I'm gonna let you know what it is.
But see, right, when we want to talk about not kind of bro sciencing it up, right? Until you have a clone matched, that is that same clone sitting next to doing what you're doing, and exactly. Then right now it's just kind of like a blowing in the wind theory.
Yeah. So the reason why that plant is there in the first place is because it is a mystery plant, and I needed to figure out what it was. I'm fairly certain it's triangle octane. That's why I threw it in there. Find out to double check if it was it. But you've seen triangle octane before. It does not have spacing that much. So that's why when I was trying to explain it earlier, if it is in fact, like I said, because it is a mystery plant, if it is triangle octane, then that right there shows from previous growth that there is a difference between the including more blue to increase the bud sites And fuck, dude, I just got stuck up on Small Poker's comment. But yeah, to increase the blue for the bud size in between, rather than throwing it late when it's already past that period, past that recipe. I threw that plant in when there was not enough blue in the spectrum that the rest of the plants got. I don't know if you were here during the explanation, Clay Pipes, but basically the reason why I'm running that phenotype is to figure out what it is. And if it's triangle octane, that's why I run it.
Yeah, it's good, and I'm gonna be doing a similar because I have that bed and because I have the new light sitting right next to the old light and everything going, and I'm running, my strains. So I'm gonna be doing literally a run across it, right? Running from one light to another light to see the difference between, this expensive light compared to my cheap light, the growth rates, those same exact thing, all these things that we like to run. It's a small sample size and it's for my garden, but this is knowledge for me that I'm using that I can just use to tell, people that, hey, this is what I've noticed in mine. So, that's that. And this shit's important, I mean, right. I'm all for keeping it as cheap as possible for lighting in everything in your garden to run it. Run that shit outdoors when possible. Well, outdoor isn't always the cleanest, most consistent medicine for everybody. So you know what? We're gonna run it indoors and do everything we can to get it there
Yeah, I guess.
in as quality as possible.
Yeah, I guess one of
There's
the big,
been bullshit for me this year.
right?
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
Everything's starting to rot on her.
Bud rot. Like, I'm done. I just want to like kind of donkey kick them all and be like, you know what? Fuck you. And just
Yeah, I was
Bud
gonna
rot
ask
is-
you, have you cut down your Slimer yet?
I brought it into the sunroom last night and I cut it down this morning. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, get it inside, get fucking fans all over it, cut all the rot out.
Yeah, I'm mad at them.
No, at least if we get a quarter or so off that purple one to try, because that bud looks fucking
Right?
time.
It smells so good.
I'm gonna self one. That's why I got the 3 seeds popped, and I got the
Yeah.
silver thiosulfate. I've been waiting to try it on something, and that's I really want to do that. I've never seen an autoflower like that.
We're just lucky that you have your outdoor going because at least that's not our only.
Yeah, I don't really want bud
that
rot
we're
floating around the backyard. Right?
relying on. Yeah, he knew.
Yeah, we
he
got
knew.
what is it? Second week of September, we're supposed to be
The weather's
cutting all the autoflowers.
What's that?
The second week of September is when we're supposed to cut the autoflowers.
Yeah, and the weather's
We're
just
only
been
days-
bullshit here. It's not the plants; they're all doing amazing. It's the last few weeks. It's
the
been
moisture.
overcast and hot, and I hate this word, but moist. Cold. It's just
Moisture.
awful.
Well, we need to figure out the greenhouse situation.
Yeah, we're doing it.
Yeah, because then we can fan it. Once I get concealed enough that I can up and down the numbers.
Right, that's the thing. This year, all year, dry as absolute shit. Right, it has been like almost a great grows year when you think about it. And come flower season, it has been just fucking hot, humid, rainy. It's like I'm just waiting for my plant, like you say, to cut fucking 40% of them outdoor. Just fucking,
We needed it to be opposite. Like, give me the hot, moist summer so they can grow like the jungle, and then give me the dry, arid fall so they can.
Yeah, exactly.
Finish with
Fucking
crisp up.
backwards this year. Fucking annoying.
One of my plants is literally
Have a great day,
stick with a
Yee.
bud on the top.
Yeah, it looks like a poodle tail or something.
Like, please, I just want to save one little taste. Come on.
I mean, and on the fucking good part though, I did put some plants out late season that I was like, oh fuck it, I may get like a quarter out of it. Put them in the ground, right? They were like this tall. I put them in the ground and like, I don't know, fucking couple weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago, I think I did it. And a couple of them took great, doing fucking fantastic, nice, tall. They're over the tomato cages, did great. So I'm happy that this part for my late dipshittery, when I put everything out there late and want it to fucking go great, doing good. But for my big established plants, yeah, this is really annoying.
You know what? I was just thinking about. I can understand why some people have a hard time, some growers have a hard time trying to like make the change or try to, you know, actually do the test yourself or do the side by side because you know a lot of you guys are established growers. A lot of you guys do have a lot of you have a routine built up. You have something that is tried and true. So when you've been doing something for so long, yeah, I can understand the hesitancy about wanting to try something different, and because there's a very good chance that you might lose money. So I get it. So you know, it
Right?
makes
All of this boils down to what your garden's used for, right?
yeah, and for me, it's all personal home grow, so I have the luxury to be able to say here, I'm gonna fuck around with these plants this round. If if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But whoa, shit, the same plant gave me 3 ounces more, almost 4 ounces more than the last round in the same system that I had running. What the fuck? What did I do this time? You know, I can go back and I can actually look, but you know, I guess like I said, I can have that luxury right now. So, hey man, cheers to everybody though. Good conversation.
Cheers.
Um,
Mm.
I'm interested in that mammoth one though. About that green. See what's up.
Oh, the fuck.
Oh, that was a quick fucking dab for I was redo that.
Oh,
I still want to hear G-Bay's funny story.
I know. Me too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I've told it so many times I forgot if I told it on the show or not. So what had happened was, I'm up here camping. So I'm away from the home. I'm about 2 hours north, maybe an hour and a half away. And once I got to the site here, I was moving stuff around in the truck and everything, getting ready to take the canoe down to the water to go fishing with my daughter. Well, I have a nice little jam-sized mason jar that I use as my travel jar, for this. And it was incidentally up front where really it shouldn't have been, but it was. And I was getting out, undoing my canoe and everything. And I happened to just be parked right beside a nice brand new white Ford F-150 with a green sticker on the side that says Ministry of Natural Resources. It's the conservation officer. And if anyone knows conservation officers in parks and stuff like that, they have OPP jurisdiction. So basically, a police officer. My daughter gets out of the truck on her side, and on my sweater and the life jackets and everything, the jar rolls out. And my truck on an incline, jar rolls out the door, onto the parking lot. Not even parking lot, just it's a big piece of granite rock that I'm parked on. Shamash. So now there's glass everywhere and weed everywhere. I'm like, awesome. I got the keys in my hand. I'm standing on a pile of cannabis that just fell out of my driver's cab of my truck. This is going to be fun. He didn't care one shit about that. He was fucking felt sorry for me. He's laughing at me. He's like, oh man, fucking shitty buzz, you're up here, just so you know, he's like, if you want a refill, there's a native dispensary just down the street here. So he hooked me up with the fucking not the address, but directions on how to get down the street to the dispensary and refill my broken jar.
That's awesome.
I was close, so I was like, oh god, man, here we go getting arrested. This will be wicked. But no.
And
he was
to
a cool
boot,
dude.
your kid's the one that fucking knocks it out.
Well, she felt bad too. She's like, oh, I just smashed all your hopes and dreams or something. She said. I was fucking laughing. Like, whatever. Fuck. But then I looked through all my gear, and I did have this in my camping gear. So I was still prepared. But needless to say, I did stop and grab some supplies there. I got Miss G-Bay some, because my weed's not heavy enough right now. So we got her some pink zombie or something it's called. Zombie pink or something.
Sorry, I'm trying to bring down my tolerance a little bit.
Well, get on it. Fuck me.
Trying to bring down your
I'm
tolerance, so
saying
you had to
no.
fucking get some dispo weed. It's like weed light, right?
You know what though?
That's
I was pleasantly surprised, like, because at the government dispos you can't see anything. It's all prepackaged and good luck, right? This place, no big jars, man. I was asking about stuff. He just opened the jar and grabbed a nug and put it right in my hand. I was able to squeeze it, smell it, look at it. Oh man, some of the stuff there, I'm telling you, like they were asking over 200 an ounce, which I haven't paid that since the 90s. And shit. Even then, I had a hard time doing it, so I'm not about to do it now.
Yeah,
But
like my most expensive is 144. That works out to be about $5 or something a gram.
yeah, but then say for
Yeah.
instance, there's like the deals they had because of whatever, right? It was $30 quarters for most of the stuff, which is pretty good.
It's pretty decent.
Yeah.
$10 cheaper than where I am. Yeah.
And they had edibles and all that stuff, right? And the main thing was pretty neat because Customer Appreciation Day, I didn't know. I just rolled up to this dispensary up here in Northern Ontario. So it was basically someone's house, and then they have like a little office trailer to the side. And the office trailer has an open sign and a little parking lot, and walk in, it's literally a couple of countertops, and that's about it, right? But they were super nice, super friendly. They were having this customer appreciation barbecue, so they gave me and my daughter some burgers and pops and some 2-bite brownies, and sat down and hung out with some other customers and people. So it was really neat. It was really nice. So shout out to MediShack, G River, Ontario. Well, they treated me well. You'll get my business again next time I'm coming by on the motorcycle or the truck or whatever. Because you're a little too far away for daily drives. But we have a couple near us, I guess, like probably within an hour, but still not worth the drive. Like once you do the drive, it's just, why not just go see Miss G-Bay? She'll hook you up.
Hey, G-Bay, I was sitting here looking in fucking chat for a little bit, and I feel like you would have kind of like that same mindset as me. Being an industrial guy, I was saying I hate fucking HPS. I've always hated HPS, and I couldn't get away from that shit fucking fast enough when there was another option. And I think it all boiled down to like being an industrial guy working in powerhouses, refineries, shit like this all the time. Everything was lit up with fucking HPS. It's like I lived my fucking life in an orange glow, everywhere I fucking went. And so when I would go to the grow room, it's like, oh, I fucking hate that color. So I think
I was lucky enough. The last factory I worked at was super like high end tooling. So they had to have temperature control.
Crisp white.
And they had like I took a bunch when they did a retrofit. I never did end up using them. I gave them away, but all the hoods, they were 6-bar, like 6-tube hoods. So they're perfect for vegging. But problem was they were wired for the T12s. I think they were the big fatty tubes. They're very, kind of unconventional. But yeah, the whole place was lit up like Walmart. Like that, right? So but then go back to my other place I worked at, Baytech. Yeah. Dark, and there'd be like every 100 feet there'd be a shitty yellow light. It's like, oh yeah,
dude. I was fucking the last powerhouse I worked in. It's funny, they claim it to be one of the most advanced powerhouses in the United States, and the whole thing's lit up by like 600-watt HPS fucking everywhere. And it's just like you walk in this place and it looks like a fucking grow room, but then it sounds like a goddamn powerhouse, and it's got shit flying, But it's just like, what? Like, how are you claiming? So they started to do the LED retrofit, but they did it like with the same wattage. So they have 600-watt like fucking LED, like white LEDs, where they replace 600-watt fucking HPSs, and now it's like blinding fucking white in that place. But I thought that was pretty fucking funny. Somebody didn't really do the math on the fucking switch when they did that.
But
that's like me. I've been trying to figure out this, just to understand the science behind electricity and lights and power and all this. Man, holy fuck,
dude! I just realized it's only been a year I've been growing in this room. I've been intense I've only been growing 5 years, pushing 6. So,
Fuck
and
yeah, on it.
my biggest tent is the 4x8. Before this was a 3x5, and before that was a 4x4 that I gave away. So it's only been a year since I've been in this room. Fuck, do I need some do improvements?
Yeah, I look at my setups like my 4x8 mainly. I got it pretty well dialed in, but like most people would look at it and be like, "Dude, that's fucking killer! Look, you got everything hooked up and fucking blah blah blah." Then I look at him like, "Oh, I could really fucking replace everything in here." So it all depends what perspective you're looking at it. 5 years in, yeah, you're doing pretty good. You got a room. Yeah, like I wish I'm in a room, but it's not a room.
You got an
Room.
outdoor garden,
Yeah, I do.
a very, very nice one too.
Yeah, true. Are you on your phone, Miss G-Bay? Or the computer? You're on your phone, go outside.
Ooh, can we go outside, please? Yeah.
Yeah.
We need the Sunday tour.
Don't,
Yeah,
don't
not
tell her
here.
how to live her life.
Go
Hey,
on
hell.
to today's bush, please.
She's like, but I got no pants on.
Wait a second. Yeah, fuck just paired me up. Fuck that.
Right? I'll fucking take him for a tour if I want to take him for a tour, not because you told me to, motherfucker.
Yeah. Wait 5 minutes then and do it on your own.
Okay, 1 second. Let me go get my shoes. By the way,
There
every
you
time
go, G-Bay.
we can talk, these dogs whine because they're like, "Oh my god, Dad!" They're so
Oh, yeah,
confused.
good luck.
too. Like, where the fuck is he?
Yeah, I can hear the motherfucker.
What's cool? I don't know if you guys follow Porch Farmer on IG, but he had recently posted up a post in the corner of his bed. He does a lasagna tech for his worms, and just put the rock right over it. What did he? He did like banana, azomite, paper, banana, paper, and then the rock. And the rock just sits right on top. Right.
Is that what he used? Was a rock? I don't think I flipped through all the fucking pictures. I thought maybe he just like kind of set some.
It just look. He just put a rock right over it, man. That's just
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
So-
that fucking works for it. It's literally just kind of getting that little microclimate to keep the light away from them, keep that moisture there, keep shit fucking moving. Makes them super happy.
Would that be almost like a artificial avocado tech?
Yeah, think of it kind of like the avocado tech. You put that
Just-
shit there, or put a cover on it so that they can be all happy with it.
Instead
And
of
that-
avocado, it's
yeah,
worm food stuff.
Compost.
Cool.
yeah. It's the same thing if you were to just pick up any tree limb that fell out over outside, and you pick that motherfucker up and you see the life under it. Same theory.
So I was gonna try to do something, but then I saw his, and I was like, that looks so much fucking cooler. So I put a little net pot in here, and I layered it with like banana peels, a little bit of paper, and I was gonna get some red wigglers to throw them right on top. But
So the only thing you're gonna want to do with that is make it light tight on the top. That's what pisses them off, and that's what will keep them away from it is the light. So
Yeah.
get a cover over the top of that so the light can't hit it, and then they will love to get inside that. And those holes and shit, that works perfect for them. So that nut cup's a fucking great idea, actually. Just get a top for it.
I'll get a top for it. I have plenty of fucking things I could probably just throw right on top of it.
I'm gonna have to get into the worms, aren't I?
I don't know. Maybe.
Worms are fucking great. I need to go check my fucking bin. I did a big collection and a big fucking feeding on it the other day. I kind of realized it's been a long time since I really did a good taking care of it, and I was going through and I really didn't see like a good amount of worms working around or anything. So it was just time to cover, reset, and get them fucking re-happy and get them reworking. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll have to check on that later. Hopefully by Wednesday, I won't miss the fucking Worm Bin Wednesday post, and it won't be a Worm Bin Thursday fucking post. Yeah, man. Fucking worms are always a great addition to your garden, man. I will always advocate for them. If you can put a worm tower in, do a little fucking composting next to a plant, it's only gonna fucking be a benefit.
I like that.
Now, like if you were just to go buy fucking a dozen worms at the store, like fishing worms. What they're the night crawler type, right? They do
There's
like the red wigglers are the ones you want, but do they all worms do the fucking worm shit?
red. If I remember, okay, Bluff. Correct me if I'm wrong. Red wigglers go horizontal. Earthworms, night crawlers go vertical.
Oh, so you want the wigglers to move around because the other
Well,
big ones.
but also you're looking at red wigglers like to be in the top 18 inches of the soil. Earthworms like to be underneath the top 18 inches of the soil. They do work and go up and down. Obviously, we see them all the time, but they really prefer to do their work deep, where the red wigglers, and they don't do as much of the just composting as the red wigglers do. The red wigglers do a better job than they do. So,
So, say for instance, I have 10 pots in my tent. I buy 10 dozen red wigglers, just dump a dozen into each pot, and put a dark cover over an area where I initiate a little bit of food. Even if I don't replace that, really, would those worms carry on out through the life of that plant? Like as long as there's no heavy drybacks, or like can you grow worms in your pots with your plants? Is what I'm asking, as opposed to having a bin.
absolutely, I have worms in solo cups, just fine. Every fucking pot I have in my house has fucking worms in it. The only thing that doesn't is the seedling fucking little starter cells. But every single if it's a gallon or up, it's got fucking worms in it.
Miss
And
B-Bay said in chat she's ready. I don't know where she
oh
is.
shit, there we go.
Trying to jump
My
back
bad.
in, maybe. There we go.
Yep, we got it. All right, let's fucking watch this and
Yeah, sorry, I've been there for a bit. There you go, guys.
Hell yeah, looking
Yeah, so
good. Yeah,
he
I
can
came
tell you
out and I
everything.
took the legs up on these ladies like heavy the other day. Spent hours outside. Like, look at that garlic. There's nothing left in it. It's sad looking, but it's awesome looking at the same time.
Sad but awesome.
Like I took everything but the flower sites out of these plants.
yeah, I think that looks beautiful.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not
that's an
dealing with
amazing amount
mold.
of fucking airflow going through there. That's gonna be fucking gorgeous, dude.
Oh, dude, I was there for 2.5 hours, 5 plants. So
That's it,
yeah,
dude.
I went
You were
aggressive.
fucking hauling ass.
I didn't discriminate, man. If you were
Executive.
Yeah,
below
dude.
the screen, you didn't survive.
Hell yeah.
So they're all scrogged out now, and I
Are
don't
you
know. I'm
gonna
not
open
gonna
up
put a
the
second.
upper? I'm sorry. Are you gonna open up the upper canopy a little more, also, or are you gonna wait a little more, see how it fills in a little more before you kind of pick and
Yeah,
choose
I'm
through
gonna
there?
wait for more flour to set up because it's not. There's no flour right now. It hasn't even started on that row yet. Kind of scary. It's probably just starting now, but like I usually it's the 15th or 20th, right, when it's at least kicked in, but just starting. No, I'll come back up and take everything off. Again, I'll come through and just the tops, man. I'm not messing around this year. And then we got Miss G-Base. This thing just started to rot the other week. Like, it was good up till about a week ago, and then we found 2 flowers that had some bud rot. So I'll have to get that taken care of because it's close enough. It's healthy enough. Ooh, look at that hippie cripper. We need to water that.
Ah, gosh, it's horrible.
Yeah, water that right away.
I'm going to in 2 seconds. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that poor plant. That definitely not liking that right now.
Yeah, you can't see it from this.
No.
I come out every morning and I
No.
stand on the deck and I observe everything, and yeah, I can't see that. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's not your fault.
What
My
the
plant.
heck is that? Oh, that's a dragonfly. No, what is that?
I don't know.
Lots of
I seen a
ladybugs on this
ladybug
one.
though. That's cool.
Yeah, I see 6 right now, but
Get them aphids, girls. Oh, it
Hey,
ran
go
away.
away.
Fuck you.
Right?
Oh, there
There's
you
another
go.
one.
Another one. Sweet.
There's another one.
Oh, hell yeah. Look at that. Nature's little IPMs.
This one's got purple stalks now. It's kind of neat.
Oh, the Primal Punch, it's had purple
Yeah.
the whole way
I just
through.
never really noticed it before. Very vibrant now.
hmm Now, as
Oh, look
for
at that
the Fluffernutter, this is what this thing's called.
Look at this thing. Like this is crazy in the last couple of days.
Yeah, I know she's staying tight on me. I love it.
Fluffernutter. That's funny. Yeah, they got some nice fucking sharp leaves on there. Nice skinny.
Smells so good.
What's the profile on that a little bit?
Ooh. It's like
Just real good weed.
it's no, well, I get a tiny bit of fruit. I can't really say what kind though. Almost like a bit of like a cookie or like a sweet, like a baked good.
Okay.
And like I want to say a little bit of gum.
Okay. Like in that juicy fruit type of like
Yeah,
or
kinda.
like
And it
okay.
is
So a
so
little
sticky.
bit
I
of
just
that. Yeah.
touched it once.
Nice.
Oh
I
yeah.
only touched the bud once. That's crazy. And then there's this thing.
Yeah, cousin it. Still doing all right though. Same thing. I hauled that one out pretty good a few weeks ago, so
Mm-hmm.
it's been doing its own thing. It's a slow flower, but it's been flowering for a while, man. Like, just gonna let her do its thing. But it grows a lot of leaf. Like you can see the leaf coming up in the buds
Yeah.
there. It's like
Yeah, it's crazy.
shaggy. Yeah,
And-
motherfucking yeah. And what about? I haven't checked on the golden goat garlic cross
Oh, geez.
in the
Yeah.
big pen there.
The stick. Oh, actually, it's not that bad.
The stick. Yes, the stick.
And no, guys, it was like a tiny little stick. I'm actually shocked it's even. So it's
Oh, yeah?
up to
Holy
my
shit, eh?
chin. It's up to my chin. I love the
Not bad.
leaves on it. Look at.
They're big, eh?
Yeah. Very long fingers.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's from the Good Weed Company. They crossed their wicked garlic cut with a golden goat.
Sorry, I was grabbing a weed here. There we go. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's just a tester seed from my buddies, but
Gonna turn to the sun.
there's so much shade in this yard now. It kind of sucks. But look at you can see right underneath them now. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And like Fluff was saying the other day, when he was on Chad's show and just earlier in this show, you can abuse these things. Those plants were basically full. Look, show them everything on the ground. I pulled like a lot of plant material off these plants, and they did not give a flying rat's ass. They didn't care. They're like, "Thank you,"
Oh yeah.
and I just dropped it there because I whatever. You can clean it up. You can do whatever you want with it, but
You can see
it
the
was
rest
too
of the
much for
yard
me to
now.
deal with at the time, so I just left it there. It'll decompose, and by the time I plant next year, by the time I harvest, even those will be pretty well gone. Not gone, but they'll be brown and shriveled and fucking.
No, very nice
halfway
job
gone.
though. Like I can see the whole yard from
Oh yeah, I literally laid on my
and
side
then
and
behind them.
worm crawled underneath that fucking thing. I was on Discord too, I think, and I had the phone under there sitting cross-legged underneath the plants.
No
I just
doubt.
trimmed right up until I hit the scrog, and then
That's his little space that he went into there.
yeah, all that work there though is gonna
Good job.
pay off because
Hell yeah.
oh, your daughter's finally come out of the tent.
Wow, our son is still
10:20
sleeping.
10:20 a.m. Man, that's pretty good. Oh yeah.
See, I never really get to get out here much, but I'm gonna leave myself on here, and I'm gonna go see if I can walk out, and we'll take a look at the little bit that I have outside. So
Hell yeah, Fluff. Cool.
I'll be back.
I'm gonna go back in.
Sweet. All right, thanks for showing, Miss G-Bay. That's awesome. I love getting the Sunday updates in. Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll have to go do a bit of work there when I get home. She looked pretty good so far.
Great. So
I need to
when
trim
you
up my window. Oh, jeez. Fell.
when When you go to Lollipop and you said anything that doesn't reach the screen gets like chopped, is it the top of the node or the bottom, like the branches?
Like generally the top. Like if the branch starts 3 or 4 inches under the scrog, but there's still a top sticking through the scrog, then I'll leave that branch there. As if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. What if the top is barely reaching the screen?
Well, then yeah, I get rid of it. Fucking, it hurt a lot. I took a lot out yesterday that probably most wouldn't, but I just don't have time, and I don't want to deal with it. And I got lots of plants out there, so just I gotta start learning to just do it for.
Then, huh? As I'm looking at this one right here, I'm like, this one might have to go. That one might have to go. This one might have to go.
Yeah. Those all be gone. Let's look at Fluff's fucking monster here. Look at this thing.
Damn it, Fluff! I like how you left without putting yourself on the big screen.
You're on mute too. Just oh no, you're not.
I'm here just like.
Bro, it stinks so bad over here. I love it. You can't. But this was the mystery one that popped up. I vaped it. I fucking threw it in there. It started like in April. It's been out here the whole time. She is just gorgeous. And reeks, just absolutely reeks. So good formation. I don't know, what are we? Fucking 9.5 foot tall. Something like that. Nice, thick, stacking. I trimmed it kind of like an indoor plant. We had a lot of this shit going on, and it was covering. You could see all the stuff that was lower. Got a lot of bug damage from all the weeds kind of touching it and shit. So, had to try to clean that up. And then this is one of Caribou's Spider Girls. When I put it in, shit, it was smaller than this one right here. And that one shot up, branched. Really excited to see what this lady's going to do. Beautifully healthy.
I like how you're hopeful for that little plant over there with the big cage.
Yeah, you like that? Like that? Yeah, man.
It's very hopeful. Hey, you know what? It's like, hey, grow into it.
Well, hey, these were all planted at the same time. This one, and this one all came in at the same time. So this one used the cage. This one, that one told me to go fuck off. And then that one over there was a male. So he got fucking yeeted. I couldn't. I was thinking about it. I was going to go ahead and F2 the Spider Girl, have our own little American F2 of it. But then I saw that and I was like, yeah, I can't do that. That's not going to happen. So
I got to jump, guys. Daughter's up. We're at the campsite. We got to get the day rolling. But Fluff, beautiful garden. It's good hanging with the rest of you. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, folks. I got a busy day with the daughter and packing up camp and all that shit. That plant right there, Fluffy Jesus Murphy, man. You're putting the G-Bay garden to shame. Good fucking job. That thing's a beast. Anyways, have a great day.
Have a great day, brother.
Have a good day, buddy. Cheers.
Got to get some of that shit out of there.
Great Fluff.
All right. Now that I've touched all this, we'll go back to the indoor garden and see if we can infect it with something.
I gotta hop off too. I just got a call there. Breakfast is ready. So hope everybody has a great day, and we'll catch you all later on Discord.
See you soon.
Have a great day, Sniff.
That's cool. Are you walking around in Crocs?
Oh man, that's like my lunch lady shoes.
Your lunch lady shoes. Cheers, everybody. Get your dabs ready, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna have one as soon as Fluff gets back, because he's the one with the super StreamYard godlike powers. That plant does look fucking great. I'm gonna get another bulb. My dabber.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I love that one out there. I could be doing a little more with it, So I have literally never watered, never fed. That plant has been neglected. So
We're gonna put some of the Bama lamb.
Shady. He's pissed. He loves to sit in my chair every time I'm not in it. And then gets really mad at me, like, bro, why you moving me? I'm just fucking sitting here. So what do you think of the Bama Lamb? I'm curious.
It is beauty of God. So definitely nice frosty fucking nugs. They're kind of close to each other. Fine. So
Get the focus. Get the focus. Pull it back. Pull it back. Pull it back. Pull it back. Come on. Come on. Ah.
look at it.
Look at it. Yeah, I was like hopeful it would press a little bit better than it did, but at the what I think we got 16% off of the bag, so it wasn't quite. I'm hoping the next round I'm gonna try to pull a little bit more terps out of it. I think I could have done a little better on that. I think we can get her a little louder. But I do like the terps on it. What did you think of that? It's got that like light, weird. I don't even know how to fucking describe it, honestly. Maybe even just a hair fucking mothballing.
I like mothball terps.
Nice, dude. I got the Ronas. Can't smell.
Oh shit.
Let me grind it up first. Let me do that. Cause that's what I'm really gonna get fucking. No, it's a nice, dense, but soft. Like it's light, but it's dense. Super frosty.
Right? Isn't it weird? It's like fuzzy. Like it feels like it's gonna be like real largy, but then you squeeze and you're like, what the fuck? I thought that was kind of neat. It's kind of a bitch to grind though. It just kind of like rolls around the grinder.
You got a bitch grinder.
What?
I'm sorry. No, nothing. That was the me.
This is
Dude.
grinder, buddy.
Me and this grinder and I have been through some shit. We've been through a lot of fucking.
What brand is that? Is that Canastor or something? Or
No, this is the good old fashioned smoke shop grinder with edges. It's unbranded.
okay, yeah, the side of it looks like something
It has little
I used
windows
to have.
that are covered in hash.
Right? Whoever thought that window was going to be a great idea? Like that's going to last all of 4 seconds.
Right?
I'll tell you what. When it comes to grinders, I gotta throw out mine. This is my grinder. This is the jam. This is everything for me. I mean, I don't know many grinders that you can grind about a fucking pound through and then still twist your cap like this on it.
Yes,
Just
right?
nice
That's
and
important.
free spinning.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, I've got fucked up hands. My shit, surgeries, everything. My hands are all fucked up. There ain't a thread one in this motherfucker. You just take the whole thing apart magnetically.
Yeah.
And they're tight, dude. They don't.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I had
Favorite grinder.
nice. Yeah, I honestly like my fucked up finger is the reason I love mine too. And it's just because it has like the beveled spaces, so I can actually grip it better. Yeah,
Good grip on
and I
it.
can
Yeah.
actually get that bottom piece off.
The one when you have like just regular dried up, we'll call them all dispensary nugs, right? Good dry random shit. You can turn this with one hand. You can hold it like this and grind weed with just your thumb. It spins so fucking
That's
easy.
awesome.
This is a brilliant cut grinder from Grinders for Life out of Canada.
That's like it.
I got 2 of them. That's how much I like. I got to my list.
And roll it with one hand.
I never could fucking roll with one hand. I rolled my own cigarettes, my old joints. I mean, that's what I did. I was a joint guy. I always fucking rolled. I rolled cigarettes, but I will be damned if I could ever figure out how to fucking roll one-handed.
Right?
I can't roll a cone either. I don't know how to fucking roll a cone either.
I can do that. I can roll a fucking really nice joint, but one-handed.
I could pack a bolt.
No.
I can pack a bowl. Fuck you, boys.
Right? I've been smoking too many bowls lately.
Yeah. Look, I can't fucking put a smell to it. What the fuck?
It's weird, dude. It's got a weird ass fucking smell. I love it. Not what I was going for in that one. You can kind of actually taste a little bit of the Black Forest way deep down inside of it, but it's got this weird ass fucking overtaste that overshadows it, and it makes it really complexly fucking weird.
I don't. Okay, so I could be wrong, but usually, like the strains that have some sort of spice in it, whenever I exhale, like they can be sweet, it can be dank fuel, whatever. I exhale through the nose, whatever, but it's always some sort of spice undertone that gives me that itchy fucking like I gotta sneeze but not sneezing. But
So I've always that's one of those things, the THC, the higher content's always that one that kind of gives you that nose burn. So I'm really curious. I want to take it up to Clay Pipes' shop because they do some free THC testing. So I want to go up there and go just get it hit just to see what it hits because I have the same thing, right? When you blow it out of your nose, that motherfucker shit burns like a motherfucker. It burns. It makes your eyes it's woo. So it's got that, and I've noticed that, right? You buy a 30%er out of the goddamn dispensary, and it's one of the decent ones, and you get kind of that same effect. So I'm very curious, though. I need to get it there to get it hit and see what it tests out to. Unlike,
I
the
find that too.
dispensaries and shit, I'm
I
not
will
going to try to take the best of the best. I'm just going to take a random nug there and see what it does.
Yeah. I also get that from now I might not be saying this properly, but myrcene, and also caryophyllene. Those peppery, spicy, cinnamon, clove kind of notes.
I do
Kind of do
fucking
that
immerse.
tingles for me too. And it's
Yeah,
usually paired with that high THC.
Yeah, I definitely like any of the lemons hit my nose like that, burn like a motherfucker, and there's
Yeah.
no lemon that I can perceivably get out of it myself. So I don't see it being that. So it does
Yeah.
make me wonder what the fuck, it's definitely right. It's a mix of terps, cannabinoids, all that shit coming out. So
Be interesting to find out the THC though. That's really neat.
yeah, fuck Clay Pipe said he might take it in this week. That's great. I can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, and this will be one that's been sitting in a bag. It was at Booth Fest. It's traveled a little bit, so I'll even take those numbers with a little bit of grain of salt. And if it comes out impressive, all the
Right?
better.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanna take samples to the testing lab here. Prices are not outrageous, and the count for like samples is no more than like 6 grams if I was gonna do flour. So I was thinking about taking some of these samples and then the some of the keepers that we have down here at the Garden Club and get some numbers on it, see what's actually in it. So that way, since they're keepers and then we've been running them, and a lot of people are fans of them. Let's see what's in it. You know, I think it'd be
Hey, I
nice.
like this question, and I like this question in chat from
Yeah.
Chris. Autos. What growth rates? I've always noticed early growth rates in my autos fucking scream. They move fast. I'm usually like very like even when it's an auto fem, I'm like it gives me that it's growing like a male kind of remnant, right? A fucking big badass healthy male is what they always kind of grow like to me in that early veg. And then once they hit flower, it's just or where they hit their stopping point, you see their flower and then things kind of but the general veg for me always seem to go pretty quick, pretty aggressive.
Adam, is that Purple Pro the testing that does the THC content and terpene profile? Because I know the T-Check does THC, but I don't think it does the terpene profile.
No, it does not do terpene profile. Not the T-check. I think it does CBD also, but they say that the T-check's a motherfucker to use because anything over like 12%, you got to do math and like fucking dilute and do all kinds of weird shit because it's just not made for those high THC percentages. So it doesn't read right. You got to do a bunch of work to get the right numbers.
Yeah. So that I definitely think at home test to get like a terpene profile and all that stuff. That'd be fucking dope, dude.
It does moisture too. Okay. I didn't realize that one.
Yeah, I like the idea of being able to get it at home and be like, hey guys, yeah, private tester, what's up? Let's get your shit tested.
I didn't mind. Did you ever see the one you could hook to your phone and you kind of shoot it and it gives you a close general, like, you know, cannabinoid content percentage? You ever seen that one? I forget what it's called.
Where you take a picture of it?
Yeah, it's like a fucking lens. It hooks up to your phone. You take a picture and it does some shit, and then it'll send you back like a percentage.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, so I found that it does get somewhat well. All right, we tested it once at the local grow shop with when they did a local like cup for the dispensary weed. So everything had numbers, everything, you know, had all its shit on it. And so we took that little phone lens thing and we hit every one. And it surprisingly enough was pretty friggin' close to every one of the labels on the weed. So anyway, but we fucked with that one and it came out close. I was surprised. It was neat.
That's really good.
Oh, that's pretty fucking cool. I didn't realize that.
I was just reading that too.
Good for that dude, man. I love the, you know, when you hear about shit like cool people who do shit for the community at, you know, as
Ooh.
large.
Mrs. Jibe,
Yeah.
do the dispensaries. Okay, how about this? If you had to guess something, right? If you ended up getting this little purple whatever, something close, and be able to test the product from the dispensary, you think you might be able to get similar numbers?
Sorry. What was the first part?
So, like the purple scientific, what we're doing, what we're talking about to test the flower at home.
Yeah.
But if you ended up getting something like that, and then product from the dispensary and test it, see if you get the same numbers.
Right? Yeah, I would love to do something like that because
Yeah,
there's a
that would
lot
work.
of question on whether the numbers are that accurate or not. It seems like they seem to fall within like a 5% range, give or take.
5 whole percent?
Yeah.
I think I've fucking touched on this. I've tried. I went to the local lab that does all the testing for like dispensaries and shit down here in Illinois to see if I could get my shit tested. Just because there should be no reason, right? And that guy told me flat out that the reason he can't test mine is because of insurance reasons, and the insurance reasons are because they don't want you retesting shit they've already tested. Because if it shows up fucked up, then it causes all the fucking problems.
Millions of dollars. It's like, oh, fuck.
It just shows you how fucked up, like, and from start to finish, testing on it is complete and utter fucking bullshit. I mean, when it comes down time to the THC numbers and all that great shit and what they're putting on their labels, all fucking bullshit.
And you know what's funny is I call that out for every fucking customer. I truthfully sell them weed. When they ask me what they want, I'll say, okay, I'm going to grab you some suggestions. When I put them out, I'm going to explain them to you. When I put something on the counter and it says cookie cake sativa at 35%, like that, and then when you look into the lineage and shit just doesn't make sense. So I'll explain it to them of what the lineage actually is, what the percentage normally would be for that strain, not what it says on the package, and kind of give them some history on what they're buying, because this shit isn't it's not truthful.
Yeah, I wonder if each state has, like Christopher brought up a point, if the percentage depends on the state or province, if they can get away with it or.
Yeah, so in Canada alone, there's different regulations for every single province. It's stupid. So like right now, for instance, like one of the regulations for THC, it has to be a minimum of 10 milligrams per packaged product. So if that product is 5 gummies in one package, that only amounts to 10 milligrams. Same with like a drink or something. It'll only be 10 milligrams. But then in BC, where Caribou is, the minimum is 25.
Yeah, I think in Illinois
And
our packages have to be 100 milligrams, or they can only be a total of 100
okay.
maximum.
And then for flour, there's like a I guess like a leeway of like 5 to whoever knows really how much percent they can get away with being under or over for each province. So it's I don't know. It's regulated, but it's not across the board fairly.
As far as like testing personal product goes, I really just want to know the terpene profile more than the THC, CBD content. Actually,
That's the biggest.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? I've talked to so many reps and even founders now. I've met quite a few over the last couple of months, which has been kind of neat because they give you the true background of what things have cost them and the bullshit they have to go through and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah, and it's sorry, I just kind of lost my train of thought there.
Terpene fucking testing is expensive as fuck.
Thank you. Yeah. So I asked them why, some packages are showing their numbers and other people aren't. Because if people are asking for it now, why wouldn't you put that on your package? And their explanation is the cost is crazy when it's not even accurate. We'll just put it that way.
So they realize the deficiency in the system.
They don't want to pay for something and have a number on their package. Let's say it says 4%, but really it's only 2, 3, whoever knows, right? It's lower than that. And then they got called out on their bullshit. And now their company goes, right? Because social media is a fast word of mouth for a company to go under and be canceled very quickly for being a liar, right? False advertising.
Oh man, that actually sounds really fucking interesting. I can't decide if I would really love a fucking strain that would taste like Armor All, or if it's too much of the actual Armor All taste, or is it more of like the Armor All on the fucking seat when it kind of like gets that smell? Like, which part are we talking? Because I'm not sure.
It's a fine line. Yeah.
It's a very fine line. We need to add some terps because if it takes them out, it might not be as good.
Yeah.
Just the spray. I don't know if I'd be down for that. That might be a little too fucking like chemically for me.
Excuse me.
Nobody has pine terps. They're not real. They're not real. Dan says so.
If you find Christmas tree pine, if anyone out there has Christmas tree pine, let us know.
Please let us know.
Thank you.
I too love
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. So terpene, if you get the terpene profile of all these seeds that you've grown that you don't even know what they are because they're mystery seeds. You don't know the crosses, you just know where they came from because you smoked the bud. But you don't know who the donor was, right? But you found something that is like fucking hits every box on the list. Check. But what the fuck are you? Let's get this terpene profile. Let's find out what's in. Do a little autopsy.
I'll have to talk to the older guy that comes in the dispensary. He's always talking about skunk and pine, and he's been growing for like 50 years or whatever.
See, I want to do the same thing. You got to have all the testing because I really like and like the pre-98 Bubba was one that showed in legal dispensaries a ton. Shit was like 18%. It had CBD in it, but it had like 3.5%, 4% terpenes or something like that in the testing here where I was getting it in Illinois. And the shit that they had that was testing out at 30%, with minimal fucking terpenes. And you see like they got the myrcene and limonene, right? That they got the big two on there. But then the pre 98 Bubba at the fucking 16, 18%, with high terpenes, just smacked you in the face, just laid you out. You know what I mean? And it was that. It's higher, more complex terpenes. It's that benefit of all of it being there together, and it proved it right there in testing. Right there on the labels. But
It's true. Fuck man, it's so true. Every day I have people come in and they're like, this shit's not doing it for me and it's at 33%. I need something higher. Like, you're not gonna get that in flower. Like, first of all, that's a lot. That's like, and if it's not working for you, there's no terpenes, there's no feelings, like you're getting nothing other than a shitload of chemical THC blown to your
Yep.
They come back wondering why it doesn't work. Like, it because there's no taste, there's no smell, it's just dry and shiny.
well, what is it? Is it 30 or 40% is like the actual, from what I've seen, is the fucking limit, right? So when you talk about the percentage of it, you're talking about the percentage of biomass. Like, that biomass is 40%. So THC, right? That's what they're saying when they do that. So the plant can't grow, right? Anyways, if we talk about things like this, where talk about a variegation in a plant, right? And you see these cool whites and shit, and you're like, how cool would that be if the thing was all white? There are all white variegated plants, and you know what happens? They die because there's no chlorophyll in them, right? They need that green to survive. That's what makes them fucking live. Same thing. If you overload that plant with just fucking THC, the plant can't grow. There's no fucking plant anymore. It's just cannabinoids. You can't just grow cannabinoids on a stick. The plant has to come along with it.
Why
So
not?
Everybody's trying though. They're all
yeah, they're all well, and you know what? And some of them are doing a successful job, right? You see these 30%ers, and you break that shit up in a grinder. It's like straight fucking keef, right? With no goddamn smell, no flavor, no nothing. It's just THC and fucking shit in the bottom of the grinder. There's nothing to it.
Yeah, it's just shiny and powdery. Yeah.
34%. Thank you. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. So
I knew it was. I know it's below 40. So literally, like, anything testing 30 is damn near unbelievable. Like, you're getting to the point where you're damn near unbelievable. So,
That's
and 40% is just a flat out fucking lie.
What's
I
that,
got
sir?
Sent left on my phone, but my conspiracy theory mind kicked in. Here we go. Hear me out.
Okay.
All these states and provinces, or Canada aside, okay, but tell me what you think about this, Miss G-Bay, because you have something similar already going on with your provinces. In the states, they're starting to legalize, right? Medical and recreational. Each state is responsible for setting up their own percentage, right? So plus or minus 3 to 5%. What if these states are allowing that in order to increase the percentage on the product, so that way customers are more likely to pay for it because that's the number they care for it. They care for customers, not patients. Customers care for that percentage more than the actual terp profile. So by doing that, the people who are in pockets of the Chads and governments or whatever, they're essentially making the money because they're able to manipulate the percentage allowed on the products.
I don't think that sounds like a conspiracy. I think that sounds like how it works.
That's exactly how it. Yeah, that's literally the industry in a nutshell. Yeah, and that's why I try to find. Well, I mean, organic if I can, but companies that are not doing things like that. Those are the ones that I'll suggest. I'm trying to find those smaller growers, those smaller people that are trying to do it fairly. They advertise fairly. They're putting true numbers on there. Like, I'd rather see something at between 20 to 26% that seems fucking normal with a higher percent of terpenes that they've actually paid the money for. And hoping that those are true as well. But when the numbers seem more legit, that's kind of what I'll push instead. I'm not going to.
and where I always had my problem, regardless of legality of which way it goes, right? Like, just I always hated when the rec thing was going to start because you knew when it was medical, there was like this, there was going to have to be some effort made because they're really trying to tote it as medical, right? So the cleanliness, the no pesticides, the making fucking medicine, right? Making shit that's healthy for people. And then the second it goes rec, you know, shit like big tobacco is going to take it over, and they're allowed. If you look at what they're allowed to spray on your fucking cigarettes, and you
Yeah.
think of the standards that we get for cannabis, and I smoked for almost 30 fucking years. Disgusting, absolutely disgusting that they're allowed to do any of that shit and then give it away for human consumption, but then say, well, we'll put a warning. Fuck you people. Like, how about just don't spray your shit on it and fucking anyway, you know, because cannabis, if you know, we have a problem, right? Your field gets fucking attacked by bugs, you lose your fucking field, you claim your shit. But big tobacco can just spray that shit, keep it fucking clean, no big deal. Granted, there, I think there's a few things that, well, like, yeah, well, the fucking
No,
legal anyway.
it's true though, and it's kind of messed up though because I don't know about anywhere else, but cannabis companies around here do not have to disclose what they use in their plants, how they grow, any of that kind of shit, what they spray with, anything.
Right, that was the big thing. I think the DGC used to say it all the time in the beginning. You know your grower. When
Mhm.
possible, research the fucking. If you're buying from a dispo, if you're buying from whoever, research your fucking growers, man. See how they grow. See if you can, you know, get reviews of their fucking shit, their facility, stuff like that. Because right,
Right?
know who these people are growing your shit.
Exactly. And it's annoying when somebody comes in after spending, they come in and they're all pissed off because they claim they've spent, you know, let's say probably $1,000 by now because this brand is their favorite. They smoke it all the time, and then they just find out that they do this, and that, and add PGRs, and now they're all mad. Well, you've been smoking this and spending that much money, and you haven't even looked into what you're putting into yourself just because it's not labeled. You know, it's just like food. It's going in your body. You should care. And if you care that much, then that's when I tell them, well, maybe you should look into growing. And I
We'll,
told them about
we'll
Caribou
do
Heart
some
TV.
fucking. We'll do some conspiracy stuff. I'll get on this shit with you high and tight. So how about like this, right? Think about what we do at the grocery store nowadays, right? How many of us actually even go to shop for our own foods anymore? Or do you just get online, fucking type up your order, let somebody pick out all this food for you, walk it out to your fucking trunk, go on your way, you don't even see shit. We've gotten to the point, not only do we not even want to go into the store to pick our own shit out, we don't even care who's fucking doing it, right? We're just like, go ahead, bring it on in. So how fucking controlling is that bullshit? Like, seriously, like, if even if you're gonna do the most minimum, go pick out your own fucking food, right? Because I've done this shit. The shit that the 16-year-old kid shopping for me does not know how to pick out a good fucking tomato, pineapple, fucking. They don't know how to pick out fucking shit, right? Like, you get the junk of the store. I'm sure they're trained to give you the oldest shit first. I mean,
Oh, probably.
so man,
I
like, I'm so fucking
And I
right.
laughed because I was mad the one time and I looked at GB. I'm like, you know what? I can't be fucking mad because this fucking 14-year-old probably has his mom pick out the fucking bananas for the last or 14 years or whatever. I was so mad. Like, the kid doesn't give a fuck what my produce looks like. It's going in a bag and it's going in my trunk, and I don't see it till I get it.
Dude,
I absolutely do, clay pipes. I absolutely do. It's sad, and I'm trying to change that.
I read labels though. I've taught my kids, like, just because it's on the shelf doesn't mean it's safe. Doesn't mean there isn't horrible stuff in it.
Yep, absolutely. But think about that shit, hindsight. Let's get on some conspiracy theories with that, because more and more every day they're trying to take every single bit of control out of your fucking hand. And I was kind of telling my wife the other day, you know what? Where do you start with controlling an army? With their food supply. That's how you control anything and everything, with their food supply. And they're letting you willingly give that up day by day.
Dude, you know what you're
for
saying?
convenience.
I just ordered Instacart like 2 nights ago, and I'm gonna order Instacart again because I forgot coffee.
It's the same thing. I mean, how busy? I
I
mean, we're
know.
all fucking busy. Shit's fucking crazy. If I can take that fucking time out of my hands, it seems like a great idea. Until I see the shit that's fucking sitting on my table, and I'm like, what the fuck? And you're right. You're absolutely right. Who do you have to blame? Nobody but your fucking self. You can bitch about that person who picked it out for you, but they don't give a fuck. They did their job. You wanted a banana, they gave you a fucking banana. You didn't ask them what fucking condition it needed to be in.
Right? And they're guaranteed they're thinking, well, you should have came and picked it out your fucking self. There you go.
Exactly. Exactly.
There's your goddamn tomato.
And then you know what?
I'm not even looking at it.
I'm gonna look at this fucked up banana and be like, "Oh, you just lost your tip."
Long shotting your fucking oranges.
Fuck you, asshole.
So, well, that's good, but who really loses at the end of that one?
Exactly.
Not him. He
No,
can give
I don't
shit
think
less.
that's anybody
He's still
that's
getting paid.
Hey man, but
You got a fucked up, worthless ass banana.
Ooh.
Actually, we have a funny. It was. I think we ordered one Brussels sprout once by accident. We meant to order like like obviously a food. I saw that.
Ooh.
It
It wasn't that bad.
wasn't that bad.
Why is he watching first?
Hey, yeah, wait a minute. This is an 18 and older show. God damn it.
We gotta shut it down. Show's over, everybody. Party's over.
Yeah, party's over. Fuck, kids showed up. We gotta go. That actually fucking is that time though. So why don't we just go ahead and roll that fucking Miss G-Bay? You want to tell anybody on our way out the door?
Thanks for hanging with us, everybody. That was an awesome show. I actually learned a lot about lights at the beginning, so thank you, everyone. Yeah. Sorry to my daughter for my dirty mouth.
God damn, at the end of the show, huh?
Miss Hindsight, what would you like to say to everybody?
I know she's in the background.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Later.
And with that, man, thank you everybody out there in chat land for fucking hanging out with us. We love all you guys, man. You're the best. We come out, fucking hang out, learn, and fucking every week with you guys. So I appreciate it, and we hope to see you all. Let's see. Do you think is Caribou going to do Monday morning? You know, if he's going to be able to.
Hey, you know, if he does any Monday morning rambling, it'll probably happen spontaneously, so we're not gonna plan it.
Okay, so we don't know if we'll be back, but we'll always see you back Tuesday morning and Tuesday evening. So
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everyone.
Take this worry away from me. My final bed to lay. I need a silent something, and I dug myself a hole.